Now, to start with, we must know what is pollution. So, by this time, I think you know what is meant by pollution. Pollution means when our environments is polluted with various chemicals, harmful substances, waste materials, and the natural balance of the environment is lost or it is disturbed. So that is mainly is called pollution. Now pollutions are of various types like air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, soil pollution, lot. So here we take up the topic today is about air pollution. That is how air around us gets polluted with various sources. We have already studied majority portion of this chapter before. So it's kind of all of you know. So this topic is nothing new for you. But still we'll study in details about air pollution. Turn to page 55 of your textbook, chapter 8. Here it is the first half of that page, that is page 55. There you will see there's a conversation going on between air and earth. And by reading the conversation, you'll get to know that air that is enveloping the earth is in big trouble, and it is asking earth to save him from this dear condition. So um, we can understand from this conversation is that if earth or air had power to speak or power to express, perhaps it would have told us that stop emitting smoke, stop polluting me. Because if we pollute the air, we are polluting in turn every aspect of the environment, because the source of living or the source of our existence and various species that exist on earth is air as well as water. Both they are the main necessities of our life, and especially air. We cannot stay even a minute without breathing. So when we are breathing, what are we doing? We are inhaling oxygen and exhaling what? Carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide is again absorbed by plants, and they emit or they exhale oxygen to fill up that gap, so we sustain. So this cycle is very important, and if there is plus or minus in this cycle, there is a severe imbalance in the society. So this is what is happening now, which is causing pollution, and which in turn is causing us in causing earth to fall in trouble. Now see, we are in a very tight situation. Rather, it is a very pandemic situation all over the world. Why? Because of a disease named COVID-19, okay, or coronavirus. Now this virus is also spreading through us and through air and through water droplets, right, from us. So we have to stay at home and not to go out, because we don't know who's having what. And if we have to go out, we have to mask ourselves. So we can say, as here in this conversation, the air is asking help from the earth. So now, actually, earth in turn is healing. We will, if you see the news or if you go into any sites, you'll find that the ozone depletion that had been caused by human interference and emittance of smoke to the ozone layer, that depletion has been corrected to a vast extent. It's an enormous improvement in the ozone layer. Why? The question is because we are home, we are using less vehicles, which in turn, hence smoke emittance from the vehicles is less, and so in turn the ozone depletion is much less. So this is actually, in case we are at home, we are facing trouble, but actually we are going to have a new earth for ourselves in the next time when we have COVID, when this phase gets over. We will get a fresh earth who's absolutely repaired. It is now on a repairing mode, it is correcting itself. Wherever there is some loopholes, it is correcting. So let us put it into a positive way. So this is what we're going to study now about the pollution. The air is polluted actually by different types of poisonous gases. Like what? We have carbon dioxide, we have carbon monoxide, we have nitrogen oxides, we have sulfur dioxide, etc. And various chemical substances are also there, like lead, chlorofluorocarbon, organic compound, dust particles, smoke that has been emitted by the vehicles and that blends into the air. So about this, we I have already passed this kind of notes to you before about the green house effect. Lot in details I've already given you, so you know what is all about. Next, here the question is at page 55, that when oxygen enters our blood from the air that we breathe in during respiration, but do you know what happens if polluted air enters our bodies? So, what is actually damaging? What damage actually cause if we breathe in polluted air? We must know that. Now, polluted air is very harmful for us. This contaminated air gets mixed with our blood and may cause various ailments or diseases like headache, then you have respiratory trouble, then you have bronchitis, then you have asthma, heart diseases, lung cancer, and so on and so forth. So it also increases sneezing and cough. So that is all dust allergy. Like everybody starts sneezing, this common cold. It is more common now because there are a lot of pollutants in the air. And when it enters, we start sneezing it, try to put it off because we are not used to that thing. And along with a lot of viruses, lot of infections I've seen, all these things enter. And even cough. Air pollution can even cause deaths of human beings. So if we by chance breathe polluted air, we immediately die. Like the various incidents that you see, even in it happened in Vizag, there was a leakage in the gas, right? So many people died. Bhopal gas incident, same poisonous gas leaked out, and it was managed to kill a lot of people. So we must not breathe polluted air. But how to get fresh air? As you can see, with the increase in the population, with the increase amount of industries, cars, automobiles, lot of electrical gadgets, that has been a common affair for us. We cannot stay without it. But we must not use it in a we must not use it excessively. That is, we must know its limit, where to draw the line. But the excessive use of automobiles, industries, establishment of industries, trees are being cut, lot of human settlements, lot of cars, lot of buses. So what is happening? Earth has its own capacity, right? But if you try to put anything in a bottle, say it is a 500 ml bottle, what if we try to put 600 ml water into it? It pours out and it collapses, right? It will not be holding. This same thing is happening to earth and to our environment. So what is happening? We are in a very dangerous situation. We must know certain meaning of certain terms like pollutant. We know pollution. We have heard what is air pollution. Now what are pollutant? Now pollutants are mainly the substances or the waste material that are being introduced to the environment, and they are naturally or by human interference has an harmful effect on the environment and human health. These are called pollutants. Examples such as the volcanic ash, you have the dust particles, you have the pollen grains. So these are certain called pollutants. Now, there are primary or main pollutants, and there are secondary air pollutants. So what are the primary air pollutants or the main air pollutants? Primary air pollutants are those substances which are released into the atmosphere directly from the source. That is carbon dioxide or oxides of carbon, oxides of sulfur, nitrogen, oxides of nitrogen, ozone, arson, aerosols, and pollen. They are directly released into the atmosphere. They can pollute the atmosphere directly and cause contamination by producing secondary pollutants. The primary pollutants, I have already told you, the oxides of carbon, nitrogen, oxides of nitrogen, oxides of sulfur, ozone, pollens, and they are also responsible for contaminating or polluting the secondary pollutants. So, what are secondary pollutants then? Secondary air pollutants refer to those substances which are formed in the atmosphere as a result of two or more primary air pollutants. Some secondary air pollutants are sulfuric acid, carbonic acid, smog, smoke, and so on. So, in the book, page 56, you'll see that if a house is located in a congested area and it is beside the main road, then what happened? A lot of buses, taxis, lorries, private cars, they all ply all together at the same time. So the area remains to be covered under smoke permanently. So there is no time, especially in the cities when the road is empty, hardly any time, especially at that too at the end or at the night, deep night. Then also the cars still ply over there. The night never, the city never sleeps at night also. So there one cannot breathe properly. And if they obviously they will breathe, but all they are breathing is polluted air. So cities, people who live in cities, they suffer from respiratory troubles quite often, and especially asthma is one of the disease they are always with. Similarly, there are also, if the people who reside beside some brick fields or factories, the black smoke is always emitted and their chimneys with the air. So there's always the interferences of black smoke emitted from the chimneys, and they get mixed with the air environment. So as a result, the area becomes totally filled with polluted air. There also it is difficult for us to breathe clean or fresh air. Now, What are the causes of air pollution? By this time we know, first is the population growth, it is immense. Then we have deforestation. Due to population growth, we have to clear forest land for human settlement. Then is urbanization. Urbanization, as human race is increasing, we are becoming more urban, more modern. So for that urbanization, we need to build up good cities, roads, factories, development as a whole. Next is use of fertilizers and pesticides. Now we are using more of fertilizers, more of pesticides. Why? More fertilizers are used to enhance more production. Why more production? Because we have to meet the people's need or demand. And pesticides, why? If pests come and destroy the crops, then there is nothing to eat, so we are using more of pesticide, so that we get more crops, more production. Next is industrialization. Same, as we are developing, so for the monetary and economic development, a country must have more of industries. More of industries will generate more employment, which in turn will generate revenue for the country. Then you have smoke from vehicles. So as we are urbanizing, as we are increasing, as our standard of living is going high, we need to have a car for ourselves, which in turn is emitting smoke, poisonous smoke, and which is adding to the pollution. Then is explosions. There are a lot of explosions, a lot of accidents that take place, hazards, like the Bhopal gas, like you have in Vizag, there was a gas leak. So these also adding to the environment, air pollution. Then you have volcanic eruption. There are a lot of active volcanoes all around the world. So if there is adaptation, there is soda ash, caustic soda, a lot of it which is get mixed up with the environment. Then you have forest fire. You have already witnessed and seen, there was Amazon forest fire destroyed. There was also in Australia. So it's destroying species, destroying forest land. And also dust storms, which you have also we have read in the newspaper about the Adi, what happened on Lu, especially Adi, which happened at Delhi in the northern India. So these are the causes of air pollution.